Welcome to On Target Radio, Segment 6, where just because the show ends doesn't mean the conversation stops. Now here's your hosts, David Lombardo and Gretchen Fritz.
Hi, welcome to Segment 6, and we've got a couple of stories that we didn't get to cover. It was kind of a busy evening, we had some calls, but two of them in particular. One is Minneapolis, St. Paul. It's out of St. Paul specifically. The school system has spent millions of dollars educating teachers about white privilege. So we're going to talk a little bit about that, and then we're going to talk about veterans getting their Second Amendment rights taken away, but they can buy them back. The St. Paul School District thing I found particularly interesting. You had an observation of that. I caught you, didn't I?
Yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about.
The St. Paul School system.
My friend Raquel, who's been on the radio show a couple of times, actually told me about this whole white privilege education concept a couple of months ago. I had never heard of it, and it's ironic that she, as a black woman, is outraged about it, so that'll tell you something. Even the black people don't like it. They're transferring their kids to private schools. 2/3 of the students who've transferred out of the public school system are actually minorities. So
right.
It's not only the white people yanking their kids out of the school, because what's happened is this company, Pacific Educational Group, they teach that the American education system is built around white culture, tradition, and social norms. So it's unfairly biased against black students from the get-go. Like, the whole thing is constructed, it's a white construct, and so black students can't possibly conform to it or be successful.
Exactly.
And so it would be wrong and racist and possibly even irresponsible to try to uphold them to a white standard. So basically, they replaced suspensions with timeouts, and they were forgiving or ignoring violence or other unacceptable behavior, and it's turned into complete chaos in the various schools.
Well, there was a teacher who got in the middle, tried to break up a fight between two basketball players, and they literally grabbed her and pushed her down, and the kid got sent home for a couple of days. That was it. When I was in high school, that would have been the end of your high school career. And then there's somebody kept coming into the same woman's classroom over and over again, hitting kids and cursing and things like that, and made the comment.
Assaulted her and
assaulted the teacher, right?
Mm-hmm.
And made the comment that he was going to fry her ass, which she tried to make a joke of it.
She tried to laugh it off, and the students were like, no, he's saying he's going to kill you.
Yeah, which, you have every reason to believe that he would do that. That whole system has
caused... This particular teacher who's been assaulted, and these kids keep coming into her room and assaulting her students and assaulting her, she now has her students use a secret knock so that she knows who to let in and who not to let in.
Exactly. She has to lock the classroom door.
That's really sad and pathetic.
Here's what they've cost. This is consulting that has done this with this PEG company, PEG company, as consultants. They have paid them. It's 2010 to 2011, $137,700, and then 11 to 12, almost 67,000, and then the next year 598,000, then 489,000, and 286,000, and then it says matched amounts to that, without explaining what the money went to. That's what it's cost the school district, over $3 million, to have chaos break out in the classrooms.
In one elementary school, several teachers have reported what the environment is like. Students run up and down the hallways, slamming lockers and tearing posters off the walls. They hit and swear at each other, upend garbage cans right under teachers' noses. And they know that there's no consequences for any of this, and basically the teachers and administrators can't control them because they've taken away all consequences.
Right. Well, it's not only that, you're basically, in a sense of the way you're degrading them as people, because you're saying that just because they're born black, they're not able to be withheld to
Exactly.
the same standards that I was as a kid, or any of you guys for that
Right.
matter.
They
but
can't be expected to meet, to
yeah,
meet
it's
this,
it's
this
just an
level.
alternate point of view, but by doing this, you basically just degraded them from the get-go. Whether you think you're doing them a favor by the white guilt training or teaching or whatever they're calling it, you just took them down another peg because you essentially said they
Making
can't
it worse.
can't handle the
Exactly.
responsibility.
That's exactly it. But see, companies like that, people like Father Flager and Jesse Jackson, all those people make a living by keeping black people in that situation. If they were actually successful and brought them out of poverty, got them jobs, got them careers, got them going, those people wouldn't be necessary. They would lose their jobs. And as a result, everything they do is always, I mean, look at Detroit or look at Baltimore. They still say it's racism. There isn't a white face to be found. There's everybody in control of every aspect of government in Detroit and Baltimore is African American.
Right.
And yet it's racism. It's become a cultural issue. They've been taught that's the mantra. They keep saying, "What are you going to give me? What are you going to do for me?" That's what we've taught them to do. What are you going to do for me? And I don't know if there's an answer to it. I don't know that it's something you can fix. I really don't. If people,
I've always said that to people who are pinning things on, like getting good jobs at Wall Street, for that matter. I mean, I'm sure there's a fair amount of connection, but the same people who are pegging white people for getting high-end jobs are the same people they're the people who are claiming that it's just white privilege, but it's the same people who are the 99%ers or the Occupy people or whatever they call themselves that screaming white privilege is just an excuse for being a slug, in a sense of the word. I mean, that's a very poor
it is.
Way of wording it, but basically the people who are sitting out crying white privilege, he got this because he's white, she got this because she's white, are the same people who aren't willing to do anything to get out of the scenario that they're in.
Absolutely.
I still don't understand how they can still claim that. I mean, it's like you have a white president, you've had black president, two black attorneys general now,
Secretary of State.
Black Secretary of State. It's like I don't understand how you can say that you're still behind the eight ball. Obviously,
You just say
black
it.
people have
Yeah, it's just
achieved.
finding someone
You
to
just
blame.
say it.
Right.
You don't have to. You don't have to prove anything. You just say it. That's what the mantra is. There's a I don't know if he's a comedian or what. I just saw it on YouTube today, on Facebook today, who takes Michelle Obama really to the woodshed. Did you see this?
No.
He just goes, basically what he's saying is, you're a perfect example of the problem. You talk about hating America and it's all, the white man is the one that's holding everybody down. Just by the way you're talking to people exemplifies exactly what the problem is. He probably turned up dead in the gutter somewhere. I don't know.
Probably.
I don't know that any of that's resolvable. The other thing I found really interesting, the federal government has been trying, successfully unfortunately, for some time to, what they'll do is they'll take, if a veteran goes to like VA hospital or goes for counseling with the VA, they will say because he's gone to counseling, he can't manage his own affairs, and as a result, they'll take away his Second Amendment rights. He can't own a firearm because it would be a danger to himself or others.
That would actually be a good topic to talk with Glenn about, because he's a veteran. And he
Who?
actually, Glenn Fleming.
Oh,
We were talking about, remember?
The guy from Red
we
Jacket.
could do that.
Yeah,
We could do
because
that.
That would be a good topic because he
Yeah.
owns a gun shop, works on full, he had class 3 dealer,
Yeah,
all that,
yeah.
full automatic weapons, and
Well, the question, not the question, the point that's very interesting in this is if Bob, an Iraqi war vet, if Bob is deemed, what word do I want?
Unfit.
Unfit, whatever, to be able to own a firearm, then this new solution is very interesting, because what the VA is saying now, if you will give up your rights to the VA, in other words, if you're getting disability or anything like that, if you're getting money from them, if you will give that up, then it's okay. You can have your Second Amendment rights back and you can have a firearm.
But I want to know if that's their logic. How does the money correlate with your mental place?
Exactly. How does that make any sense?
Which is why this struck me as so funny, because it's illogical. There's no logic to it whatsoever, other than they want to get them off of the payroll.
Right. Yeah. It's kind of, I don't want to use the word ironic, but there's been an increasingly large movement for the mental awareness movement that's been going on. It's just it's getting bigger and bigger, and you would think that a problem like that would certainly be addressed. And I mean, it's getting the help you need. And there's plenty of war veterans who they understand the magnitude of what they fought for, and they come back and they hear that if you go seek counseling because for whatever reason you could be cleaning toilets too much, it doesn't matter. If you go seek counseling for whatever reason, whatever right you just fought for is gone, and now the people with mental problems, problem is a poor choice of word, but the mental issue, whatever it may be, are not going to go get the help that they need.
And that's it. What it's going to do in the long run is going to prevent people from getting counseling if they need it.
The other thing is that family members who live with veterans who've been declared incompetent and have said they're not allowed to possess guns. Now the family members are being told
and they haven't done
can't
anything.
possess guns either.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm trying to find this guy Connolly. He's from the United States Justice Foundation. He basically is saying he's uncovered so far a coordinated effort by multiple federal agencies to disarm the American people.
Yeah, it's that's right. His name's Connolly.
Which is sort of a story we've been, following for a while, but it's nice to see it corroborated.
Well, they're also now beginning to ask seniors on Medicare. I'm going to be next. Watch, I'm a double whammy. I'm a veteran and a senior.
You're a Vietnam veteran.
Exactly. Vietnam. Well, everybody knows Vietnam veterans are crazy, right? That's we were branded that when we came back.
You guys set the standard.
It was really true. A lot of people think that's an exaggeration. We get off the airplane coming back into the U.S. I got off at a military installation, but there were people who got off at civilian airports, and they would spit on them.
Yeah.
They were in uniform. I mean, it was unbelievable. But they're talking now about extending this concept to seniors on Medicare. Some dental patients and even children seeing pediatricians have been asked about firearm ownership. I've been very lucky. All my doctors, dentists and stuff, none of them are anti-gun, so the questions never come up, and they all basically know what I do. Particularly if I show up with a T-shirt with a gun on it or something,
like the shirt that you have that says "I'm a good guy with a gun."
I'm a good guy with a gun, exactly. Yeah, I actually worn that one to a doctor's office, so they don't have a problem. I haven't been asked that, but I've heard from people they have been asked by their doctor, "Do you have guns in the house?" What's that got to do with my getting a medical exam?
When I used to play sports all kindergarten, junior high, high school, so on and so forth. And there was a time in junior high, my family's had guns forever. From the day I was born, I have a picture of me with a shotgun next to me. It's funny. But there was a time in junior high I had to get mandatory sports physicals, so it was a routine thing. I'd been there, done that, and this was right about the time Obama got elected, and this was when the whole thing started popping off. And I remember this distinctly because I thought it was just absurd. But my mom's like, "Well, if they ask you if you have any guns in the house, just say I'm not going to answer that question." I was like, "Why?" And then I was in junior high. I was like, "Why would they ask you that?"
Crazy. Yeah, it's pretty bad when your parents have to prepare you.
Yeah.
Did they ever ask you?
No. The point I was making though is if a kid in junior high is able to question what you're doing, you shouldn't be doing it.
Well,
I mean, to that extent. But
yeah.
It's absurd. It's absurd.
This has really come to a head under this administration. I mean, there's been this sort of anti-gun thread for a long time, certainly long before Obama got into office. But this egregious acts that are being committed by this administration. This backroom stuff that they do. It's just, I don't understand how they get away with it. I really don't. I don't understand how they get away with it and why they haven't impeached this guy.
And here's a good one. The report also says the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms is adding regulations that ban from owning weapons anyone who was ever examined by a psychiatrist or psychologist, which is a routine part of many family court cases. So
That's true.
So if you have
Yeah.
a divorce and a custody,
The judge orders you to go.
Right, even not a contentious child custody. Often they'll do psychological, evaluations just
Right.
so they can report to the judge, and they're saying they're going to add that to the list.
Well, we didn't really solve anything, but we bring things to light. What is that?
Yes.
What is that? We bring good things to life. Yes,
Yes.
that's it. We bring good things to life.
We're stamping out ignorance, as you like to say.
It is indeed. I'm sure we'll have something else pithy for next week. We just have no idea what it's going to be today. But we all thank you for joining us on segment 6.